guess we can give a couple of minutes for the people to join, but I will share my slides and set everything up. Can everybody see the slides? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes? All right. Okay. All right. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. I see some new faces, which is really fun. Let me know where are you joining from. It's always interesting to see who is connecting to this work. So welcome to Quantum Leap, Unlocking Limiting Beliefs for Conscious Entrepreneurs. If you're here, I would assume that you are on your entrepreneurial journey, maybe aspiring entrepreneur, but definitely more of a conscious and self-aware, that you want to create something different in your life. If you're still figuring things out, this information will still be very useful and beneficial. So stick around and let's explore what comes up in the process. A little bit of housekeeping. I want everybody to interact and engage in the chat as much as possible. And if you can, on your cameras, it will be also interesting to see people who are live. Last time during workshop, we had some weirdness going on, some people joining and messing around. So we did kick out most of the people who were off camera. So I don't want this to happen to you if you're here intentionally. Yeah, and if you have questions, type in the chat, share your experiences or thoughts as that comes up. And I will share some knowledge, my own experiences with quantum healing and all this work. And if that resonates with you as well, there will be opportunity for you to continue exploring that. So I'll share how to do that as well at the end. And yeah, I guess let's roll. So today's intention, or what you will experience today, will follow the D.R.I.P method to gain quantum clarity about your limiting beliefs. Most likely you already know that limiting beliefs are shaping your reality in a way. And this is the process that I have developed to become aware of those limiting beliefs, because until you are aware of them, you cannot change anything about that. And usually that's the major challenge for entrepreneurs as they are developing both their businesses and internally creating different results in life. So you will discover the main belief that's holding you back from the biggest breakthrough in your business. Whether you are at the beginning of the journey or you are up leveling, that doesn't really matter. Those limiting beliefs are usually creating those blockages in our journey. And you will also learn about a faster and more effective way to permanently dissolve your limiting beliefs. So this is about me. Let's get to know each other a little bit. My journey started a while back. I was seeking for, I wasn't sure what. I was searching for my purpose, the meaning in life. Why am I here in this experience and how to move forward? I was like deep in a conflict happening for me for many years. It led me to study science and trying to understand and looking for those answers. Studying biomedical science, biophysics, didn't really give me those answers. Rather, science was denying the things I knew existed through my experience. And so my focus shifted to a completely opposite direction. And I started exploring spirituality, mindfulness, self-awareness, and all the practices that helps you to, explore your inner world. Because as I was like determined to figure out what's wrong with me, why I don't fit in, and change myself and fix myself at the time. That's what I was thinking, so that I can be successful in this society. Interestingly, that journey led me to understand that there is nothing wrong with me, and maybe the society is a bit weird, and we can create our experience in a different way. At some point, I experienced that spiritual awakening, and really something shifted in my consciousness, and I knew that if I can go from that depressive mode and fearful experiences in life to the inner liberation, I knew that anybody else can do that too. And it became my mission to lead people towards that inner evolution. And eventually I met D.R.I.P, who was developing this advanced quantum healing modality for many years, for decades at the time when I met him. And he became my mentor and teacher and taught me core principles of quantum healing. And since his passing, it became my mission to bring this method to the world and help people become more self-aware and explore, what's true for them instead of blindly following the society standards. My practical life is very simple. I'm a mother to these two little kiddos. Forest is where I find comfort and safety and grounding. As a hopeless introvert, I need that a lot. And also I find the kind of peace in painting. So that became part of my journey a good year ago as well. So you will see a bunch of paintings. I'm trying to express some energetic elements through that and anchor those energies. So that's about me. I wish I could hear all of your stories, but probably we'll have time for that if you are willing to connect personally later on. But if you are anything like me, you are doing your transformational work because you are on a mission to impact the world, and you know that the change begins from within you. And potentially you want more meaningful work, more fulfilling life, and you want to be free from those societies, structures, and standards and programming, allowing you to really embody your life mission, the purpose that you came here to express, and that way impact the world. Let's talk about what's really happening. And if you're here today, there is a big chance that you are at the crossroads of life or business, feeling somewhat overwhelmed. Your business probably is relying on your perfectionism and constant action, taking high performance, right? And you deprive yourself from that self-care and rest. This is how society taught us to behave, and kind of fall into that loop usually. And you know that your past conditioning is holding you back, but you try to effort through, and it's really tiring by now. And you probably think, is there a better way to do things, right? Does that resonate? Comment in the chat if it does. No comments? All right. I want you, I want to guide you into an experience, like a little bit of grounding here in the space. And I'll stop sharing for a moment. I want to see your faces. Um, so if you could just close your eyes for a second and follow my guidance to really feel into that experience internally. Um, as you close your eyes, notice the position of your body. Notice your breathing. Thank your breathing for helping you relax. And notice how that waterfall of energy is flowing over you. Notice how that your flow, abundance, ease, consciousness is flowing through you and somehow begins to flow within you as well. Notice how your chakra system is open up, and that water consciousness with all the wisdom, all the knowledge and flow is coming in through your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, the root chakra, all the way down to the feet. Notice how this powerful energy is flowing through you and around you, bringing all the wisdom, all the information you need to have. The abundance, the ease, freedom. How does that feel? I want you to notice every visual element that you become aware of, every sound, every taste and smell and physical sensation. How does it feel to be abundant in all possible ways? Notice how that energy flows through you and it impacts other people too, in the most positive way. That's right. And when you're ready, only when you're fully ready, you can allow your eyes to open. And reflect. How would you describe that experience in 3 words? Put it in the comments. How does it feel to be abundant in life, in your business? What would be the 3 key words that you could describe that? Calming, peaceful, free. That's right. Knowing what part of my past is holding me back. When you know, you can change it, right? Light, floating, free, natural, warm, and powerful. Yes, like that. Clarity, peacefulness. Awesome. Wouldn't it be nice to run your business from this energy and live your life, right? Yeah, the waterfall. Beautiful. That's why I kind of put this image here on the slides. Um, to kind of illustrate and bring you into that process. But let's explore what's really happening. And, I want to bring back to the reality a little bit and analyze what we're really experiencing. Most likely your limiting beliefs still takes over. And you can't find a way to pass through those blocks. You keep searching for answers externally with no results, right? Because we do that a lot. And this is what society is teaching us, looking for solutions outside of ourselves. Yet they're usually found within. You may see other people strategies don't really work for you. And I'm talking from experience. I've tried different methods and ways to run the business, and everybody comes with their method as perfectly the best. And yet, it doesn't always work for each of us because we're so unique. And you potentially see other less qualified people succeeding in their business, and you begin to doubt yourself, or eventually even question your inner guidance, and that imposter syndrome kicks in. That creates inner conflict and makes you worry a lot. I named like 7 elements here. Tell me how many of these things resonated with you. If you could share in the chat. Does this resonate with you in this space? Yeah, some of those elements. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And as you know, it's not your fault. We have been programmed and conditioned through life by society, by our family beliefs, school system, religious structures, culture, medical system. All elements have been impacting us through our life journey. Right? And it's not about how smart you are, because the richest people in the world are not the smartest people in the world, right? There are certain skills that people apply, and others are conditioned to really be quite limited based on their upbringing. So it's all about the programming that is stored in our subconscious level. And I just want to explore, or like describe this in a very basic way, very simple way, and this is important for us to move into the D.R.I.P method experience. But we experience the world through 5 senses. And as quantum healing is analyzing the connection between your mind, body, and soul, and how we perceive the world through 5 senses, and how the language is coding our system. Based on that knowledge, I'm reflecting that we do experience the world through 5 senses. We see things, we hear, we feel, smell, and taste, right? And that information is converted and processed in our brains and analyzed and filtered out and sorted and stored in our system. Again, that information that doesn't match our beliefs is deleted or hidden somewhere, and the information that is matching our beliefs is kind of reinforcing. So our beliefs become like filters of our reality, of our experience. And the way we experience the external world through five senses, the same five senses we're using to experience our inner world. And if you are aware enough of your thoughts and emotions, you will know that you can think in images, pictures, or the sound, the voice, constant conversation in your head, or maybe both, maybe the combination. And your emotions are those biochemical reactions through your body that are being triggered by your thoughts and you experience as a kinesthetic element. And so when you keep thinking the same thoughts, those electric impulses triggers biochemical reaction in your body as an emotion, right? And thinking and feeling in the same pattern creates that loop, and that is a belief, eventually stored and anchored in your physical body. So this is how we are programmed as a human operating system. And it's usually quite complicated to uncover or reprogram our system, our subconscious programs, really. We are relying on affirmations and meditation, kind of mindfulness, self-awareness. Repetition is useful to rewire your brain, but there are better and faster ways to do that as well. And how to activate that energy flow. So the beliefs, those blockages, I can call that, interchangeably a limiting belief or energy block or whatever. It is like a knot that blocks your energy flow through your system. The more of those beliefs and blockages you have, the more blocked your energy is. And this is how we create very limiting life experience. Because if you had that expansive energy, you would be allowing more information and more flow into your life. So in the practical sense, becoming aware of your emotions and thoughts, visuals or internal dialogue, allowing that energy to flow. So when you become aware of the limiting belief and the elements that created it, that belief can be dissolved and the energy begins to flow. As very simple system, but again, it can go complex. I usually like to dismantle all the complex elements into small pieces and like building blocks and then build from there. So what is our human operating system and where those beliefs are stored in our system? This is a model that helps me explain. It's in a way based on the yogic traditions, but just like we analyze our physical body, right? We can separate the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, muscular system, skeletal system. We can separate and analyze and understand and learn about it, but really everything is entangled and interconnected. So just the same way I see this kind of structure, as we have five bodies: physical body, emotional, mental, energy body, and light body, or your soul body. And so the beliefs can be stored at a different level of each body. Those deepest beliefs and most impactful traumas are often stored at the physical level, the physical body. Mental and emotional bodies are very connected. Like I said, every thought creates the emotion, and eventually the emotion triggers the thought. So these two are very much entangled. But our unprocessed emotions from past experiences, which I would call trauma, are creating those blockages. And when you become aware of the thoughts and you're allowing those emotions to be released, things can shift. A lot of beliefs are stored in your energy body, in your chakra system as well. And if you are an empath or sensitive person, you will be very familiar with the experience, maybe not understanding it fully, but we pick up energy from other people. We, welcome those beliefs from other people, and it's kind of attached to our energy too. And just through generations, some beliefs are passed on. And light body again is your spiritual journey, and all that information that is anchored is also experienced in the moment right now. So because your beliefs can be stored in every level or several levels as well, I created this process to update those beliefs and to rewire your system. And this is very basic explanation of this, but it's the biggest secret of quantum healing, really. Everything begins with self-awareness. Until you are aware of your limiting belief, like I said, you can't really change anything. So the process how to become aware we'll dig deeper into in the next slide. But when you are aware of your limiting belief, the next step is to release that belief out of your physical, mental, emotional, energetic body, light body as well. When you are able to locate and release that belief, then it's important to replace it with more positive and supportive belief that is more in alignment with your being. And I'm not talking about any manipulation, mental, kind of projection. I want to believe that instead. Quantum healing holds space for you to receive that information from the superconscious, from your own being, so it is in complete alignment with your system. And when we replace the old belief with the new positive belief, what you need to do is to integrate again into every layer of your system, into past experiences and future possibilities, to really anchor that so that it becomes strong and the limiting beliefs will no longer override that. All right. Is this making sense? Are you with me? Still? Okay. So we're coming to the core principle of quantum healing is self-awareness. Because self-awareness is opening up every door you can imagine. And if you have the workbook printed or in front of you, this will be useful. In the workbook, really, all this information is listed, and we'll use that to reflect on some of your experiences. But the D.R.I.P method is as simple as it is. The first step, you need to be aware, or you need to know what your desired outcome is. Because limiting beliefs will be exposed in exploration of something that you want to achieve. Limiting belief will contradict your desire, right? So if you want to explore what limiting beliefs are preventing you from achieving something, you need to know specifically what your desires are. And I will go into details in the next slide as well. When you know your desire, when you're fully aware, you can then notice the resistance that is coming up. And you notice that resistance again through 5 senses from your internal experience. And I will guide you through the process itself. When you notice the resistance, it's important to investigate. What does that resistance mean to me? When was it anchored, and what is it telling me? What is it related or connected to from maybe my past experiences, maybe other people, maybe somebody told me that, and that's why I believe this. So investigate how this belief was anchored in your system. And that will help you clarify the specific phrase. And as I was talking about the programming, language, the words that we speak are coding our experience, our system. So all the subconscious, the way we talk is really mirroring what's programmed inside. So when you become aware of the specific phrase, we can use that information to dissolve that belief, replace it with a positive, and integrate. All right. So let's explore the step 1. Be clear about your desires. If you're having the workbook, I will give you some time, but I want you to reflect. Write down for yourself 1 to 3 positively stated desired outcomes. And what I mean by positively stated, for example, I struggle to find clients is a negative belief, right? Is negatively stated. But, I want to make that amount of money. I want to attract that many clients. This is a positively stated. What's your desire? It's not what you don't want, but it's what you want that you need to be aware of. Also describe to the detail what success means to you. This word is thrown around everywhere, but each of us will have a different definition. What is success for you? Society standards also projects a lot of those elements, and I remember myself getting into the trap of this belief that I need to be successful, therefore I need to have a big house, a good car, a family, and business. And there's like a structure that when you have those things, you are successful. Yet that didn't lead to any internal fulfillment, right? So my definition of success now is very different. So describe what it means for you. Include as many emotions as you can. How do you want to feel? What physical sensation? What's your internal dialogue? How does that experience, taste, smell, looks like, feels like, sounds like? The more details you describe, the more real it becomes internally. That's why I was guiding you through that short meditation to really feel the energy flow through you, for you to be able to notice the elements. Another important piece is to know how you will know that you have achieved that. So is your desire measurable? There's a certain amount of money, a certain amount of clients, some specific experience that happened, or is not so measurable. Maybe it's just like a feeling that you want to embody. But you need to define how you will know that you have accomplished that, right? So that gives you clarity. And so I'll give you 5 minutes to reflect on these questions and make notes for yourself. All right, I'll take time. And let's take a moment and fill in your workbook. 1 to 3 positively stated desired outcomes. Describe what success looks like and how will you know that you have achieved that. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? Do all of you have a clear desired outcome, at least one? If so, we'll move to the next step. All right. That clarity requires some reflection. So if you need more time, you can do that at your own pace at home after later on. Thanks, Tiffany, for sharing. These are more
So,
internal
yeah.
elements. Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering with that, because the desired outcomes, because it's really hard for me to be like, this is success, this is what I want, when I feel like I have all these things that I really want. Like, how do you hone in on it, right? And so then what happened for me is I was like, okay, what are my desired outcomes? Like outside of any material world or anything like inside of me. So that's where I went with it, was like, I just want to feel, not that I don't feel these things at times, but these are the ones where it's like sometimes I'm not content. I can't be content. I always have to be working towards something, striving for more, doing more. Right. And then there's the joyful part, like I can be so serious and forget to have fun. And then connected to my intuition and trusting myself, like if I am connected to my intuition, I and just trusting that intuition, like how decision making would actually look like. So then the success, like the second part of that was, what does success, are we there? Am I there? Did we talk about that part? Can I talk about that part?
Sure, I'll talk about that.
So like then what does success look like and how do I know I achieved it, right? So then I was thinking about like I'm just if I'm trusting my intuition and then my decision making, like the success would
Feels
be is that
different.
I'm just making those, I'm just trusting what I'm hearing and seeing or knowing.
Mhm.
Um I don't know.
So
So
how do
that's
you
kind of,
know?
how do I
How do you
know?
know when you trust? Yeah, how does it feel? Can you define that for yourself very
Well,
clearly?
I feel like that's probably equals contentment.
Mhm.
Right? So
Okay.
like I am content actually is very much connected to I trust myself. Because then I'm not going back and forth and like
Question.
mind screwing with whatever is coming up in my head,
Mhm.
right? It's just this calm content like I know. And
Do
and
you
that's really,
know how it feels? Have you experienced that content at some moment, a period in your
yes.
life? Hmm.
Yes.
So you
Mhm.
know how it feels, but you
Yeah.
want more of it. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So yes, these internal elements are a bit harder to define, right? How will you know that you have achieved that? Is more like a scale that sometimes is here, sometimes is not.
Yeah.
But if you have like developed that awareness, um, and you know how to get back into that state of mind and that emotion more quickly,
Mhm.
right? This is what we're working towards.
Yeah.
And how to define have you achieved that is so unique, and it's just your inner work. I can't tell you how content feels like for you, right? Because it's your individual experience.
Mhm.
And that definition is very personal. So it's probably just requiring more reflection
Yeah.
and evaluation of those situations that you don't feel content or not trusting your intuition, and
Mhm.
those situations that you do.
Yeah.
Um, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Well, then I was just thinking too about how, what limiting beliefs, am I telling myself that, or that are, programmed or on repeat, that it
Mhm.
is getting in the way of that too. So, anyway, so this is good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. If um, as a desired outcome, in your case, I would probably use I fully trust my intuition, or I
Mm,
trust my intuition all the time, every time, in every situation. make it kind of 100% a statement that would reflect that experience.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So now that was the step one of D.R.I.P method, right? I will describe the other 3 steps for you to understand mentally, but then I will guide you through the process to explore internally. So how do I recognize the resistance, right? And in your daily life, you'll recognize your behaviors or some behavior patterns. Procrastination when you need to do something that would lead you to success or some evolution in your business or some resolution of the problem. Some anxiousness, uncomfortable feelings, overthinking, like we get into the mind loop and overanalyze different situations, trying to figure out things mentally. And discomfort, like I said, yeah, anxiousness and uncomfortable feelings, or avoiding situations, conversations about that, or the work itself. So this is like externally, right? But how do we recognize that resistance internally? So I would invite you to, we'll do that later. I'm just like explaining. When you say the phrase of that desired outcome, let's say in Tiffany's case, I'm trusting my intuition in every situation. Right? Could be a statement. When you state that desired outcome as if you already have it, we can take a more simple example. I'm making $1 million next year, or I'm already making $1 million in sales in my business. If that is not true yet, your body will respond, your mind will react, you will get some kind of response to that statement internally. Maybe a visual can come up for you, maybe a past memory that creates the contradiction to your statement. Maybe some discomfort in your body, feeling sensations, some heaviness in the chest, fear, whatever that would be. You might hear as well, auditory, your own voice saying, no, you're not. No, you don't have it yet, or something like that, right? Or you can't have it, you will never have it. Maybe it's your teacher from childhood who said that you are not good enough. Maybe it's your, friends, not friends, bullies at school, or maybe it's your parents who projected onto you their own beliefs. Some internal element will come up to your awareness when you stated that phrase, as if you already have that desire achieved. So I will invite you to say those words out loud, as if you have achieved that, and notice what's coming up internally, visually, kinesthetically, auditorily. And from there, we will investigate what memories from your past created this resistance, and what is the fear underneath that. Maybe your father was a very angry person and he didn't like people who are rich. And you have that belief that if you become rich, your father will hate you. I know this is a bit twisted, but it's all anchored usually in our childhood experiences or in our upbringing stories. Maybe if I'm successful in business, business takes away all my time and I cannot take care of my family. There will be some contradicting elements. Notice what were your parents or friends saying about you. to you or to other people, right? So what um, identity you have accepted for yourself based on your environment? What did you choose to believe about yourself? You know, that you can't achieve something, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, or whatever stories that we begin to believe over time as we are told those things. Also, how did you see the world in your environment? What was possible or impossible? What was good or bad? Um, from the success perspective, business, money, and all those elements, I personally have explored a lot, and my clients too, believe religious beliefs, right? There is some negative attachment to money, or my upbringing. I've seen poverty, I've seen lack, and that's all I remember from the childhood. I don't have the that abundant program in my upbringing. Therefore, I need to observe how that story was developed to recognize the belief itself. You become aware of that specific phrase, that limiting belief that will come to your awareness. And becoming aware of that limiting belief is like opening the cage that you were trapped in all these years. And yet you still need to choose to come out of that by changing the beliefs, by rewiring your system. So I will guide you through an experience right now. I want you to just relax and explore what comes up for you internally. So when you're ready, just close your eyes, sit comfortably. Notice your breathing and thank your breathing for helping you relax. Notice any thoughts coming up, any physical sensations or emotions. Notice any visuals coming to your awareness, any sound or taste or smell. Again, it's your unique experience. There is no right or wrong. Whatever comes to your awareness as the first element is significant. So I want you to say out loud or in your mind, however you feel comfortable, say the phrase of your desired outcome as if you have already achieved that. And in the moment, notice what comes up. Notice your physical sensations. Notice any sound, any voice that comes to your mind, whether your own voice or somebody else's voice. Notice any feeling, sensation, emotion in your body. Any taste or smell. Notice what it means. Sometimes tastes and smells are bringing us back to some memories, to some experiences, sometimes deep experiences. And without any external trigger, you may perceive the smell or taste. And just explore. What does it mean to you? What person does that remind you of or experience? Notice how the visual element comes up. Maybe just symbolic as a metaphor. Or it might be your past experience, a memory that comes up. Notice the voice. Maybe it is your internal dialogue resisting that desired outcome. Or maybe somebody else's projection, their belief that you took on. Notice the physical sensation. If there is any pressure, any discomfort. And thank that physical sensation for coming to your awareness. Thank that voice or image for coming to your awareness. It's just bringing you information, bringing you knowledge, allowing you to understand better where this belief is coming from. And just notice what happens as I invite your being to bring to your awareness a focus of energy or the limiting belief that is preventing you from achieving that desired outcome. Just notice how this particular phrase comes to your awareness. You may just have a thought. You may hear the words. You may see the words. Or you may feel that. Somehow you will know that that particular belief is preventing you from achieving success and that desired outcome. That's right. That's right. So just sit with it for a moment and take as long as you need to explore that. But when you're ready, only when you're fully ready, you can allow your eyes to open and share your experience if you wish. That's right. Take as long as you need. Take as long as you need. That's right. That's right. That's right. Take your time to make some notes. And if you're open to that, I always invite people to share what comes up. Share as much as you feel comfortable. And I see Mandala has written, if we get too big, they will be mad at us. It's a strong belief that is based in fear, right? Probably from some experiences in the past. And who are they that will be mad? Explore deeper. What does that mean for you? I think Sean wants to share. Please do. I like when you do share your experiences. It's always
I'll
helpful
try to keep it a bit more normal.
Nothing is normal here. You don't need to
No, I
be.
know, I know. It actually felt a lot lighter than it normally does. I had a desired outcome for a specific amount of money to be flowing in by next February. I even have a specific date. Clearly, I'm a numbers person, so it's in there. And as I said it, as if it happened, I actually saw or felt some kind of light come across, as if it was a, well, of course you will, or of course you do. It was
Confirmation.
a confirmation more than anything.
Okay.
So before I would have had a lot more coming up in my head, but that it was just, I feel things have been cleared.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share? Sandrine? Maybe you? What's coming up? No? Okay. No pressure here. Just it's useful for others often to hear because we no longer feel so alone. Because we can think that oh, this limiting belief is torturing me. And nobody else has that experience, but it's good to share, to realize how much we are relating in those experiences. So yeah. All right, just let me know, everybody, if you got a phrase, specific phrase, that came up for you as a limiting belief. And if you're not there yet, I think following, going to the replay and exploring that again might help. I see the chat right now. Mandela, would you like to share? Too much sugar connected to generational alcohol trauma. Interesting.
During the visual, it was just like connecting to my liver and my kidneys. I bought these muffins yesterday, and I always look for no palm kernel oil or some kind of organic, because I can feel the oils in it are making me sick on purpose. So I found these ones, and I was like, oh, this is good. No palm kernel oil. Oh God, there's like 9 little ones. I'm gonna practice, restraint, because my addiction is sugar. Like, oh my gosh. And I ate, I ate 6 out of 9 since yesterday afternoon. And they're little, so there's justification. But my belly hurts a little, my liver, my kidneys. I'm drinking more celery juice. I'm doing like over the top things to make up for these muffins, right? So I'm sitting here in the visual, and of course the quantum fibers right away are like, hey, so by the way, you're feeling a little off right now and can't connect fully because of the sugar in the way. And then suddenly I smell alcohol, like rancid. It does not smell like alcohol in here, So when we connect with the quantum, it's so easy to just get these spectrums and layers of, hey, by the way, let's take care of this generation. Oh, and by the way, let's just, once you're in it, it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's attached to the, okay, a little bit more grieving from the passed away mother that had the alcoholism. It's very simple to start doing this complex work. And I don't go and live a normal, perfect life. At the end of that visual, it's like I'm just really not going to until other people can ascend. If other people can start doing this work and really feeling the alcoholism and their current sugar addiction and what they're doing so quickly in a visual guided by someone they care about and trust, it's going to do everything. So that visual was like how I see you and how I see this work in a nutshell. Like personal, generational, and then bam, why are you not ascending and using this? Oh, it's the pain of where's my brothers and sisters, like that was powerful, really. Like, ooh, holy crap. Took me through a whole road of
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good to make notes with that, because a lot can come up when you are really aware. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Stephanie, did you get any clarity for yourself? No?
No.
No?
I didn't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. Sometimes that intuition, we don't trust intuition sometimes because we have experiences from the past that knowing without learning is bad or is not understood and it was judged. I mean, that's my experience. I mean, as a kid, I was sensitive and aware of a lot of things, but I did shut down that intuitive knowing. I shut down completely.
Yeah.
And it wasn't safe
Right.
to express that knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So these fears are holding, or like, how do I describe that? fears are underneath those beliefs. The beliefs are just expression of those underlying fears. And when we look into the fear and explore that and sit with it, things shift.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because you're like, write down, like, what you could write down is I trust myself in every situation. And I was like, no, I don't. Like immediate, it was like, no, you can't do that. That you can't do that, right? So it'd be interesting to do some more work around that one, huh?
So I mean, if you construct the belief, the phrase around that, you can't trust your intuition. That's it.
Right.
And that belief you can then work on.
Yes. Let's do that, please.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Let me continue with some couple of more slides here. Yeah, so when, like I said, when you are aware of the phrase of that limiting belief, you can then follow the process to shift it, to update that in your system, in your subconscious. And having quantum healing tools makes this process really fast. So what's next now when you know, when you have that phrase specifically, what should you do, right? And how quantum healing can help you. What quantum healing does in general is rearranges or reorganize your human operating system. And this image is just like, you know, an easy expression, a metaphor, how we live our lives completely entangled. These are the two server rooms, right? One on the left is so messy and mixed up that you don't know what is connected to what. And very often our beliefs are contradicting each other. So we want to achieve something, but there is some limitation that says that we can't because something bad might happen. And this is our mind is kind of trying to keep us safe, creating those blocks and limits for us not to experience something new that is unknown, right? That's the purpose of the mind, ego mind. So that entangled system can be restructured and organized in a very specific way, following the quantum healing process. And imagine having your server room so well structured and organized where you know what means what's connected to what, and the brain function is more effective and efficient, and you become aware of more details and receive new ideas, new possibilities, new connections, how to improve your business, how to shift your relationships, how to improve your life in general. So this is what, in a nutshell, what quantum healing can help you with. The system is restructured, then it's a lot easier to work on your beliefs. And I'm bringing back the same slide that I shared before, the 4 steps to update your belief. First is becoming aware. You need to raise your awareness of your thoughts, emotions, what comes up, you know, what's the connection with other elements. When you become aware of that phrase, you can release that belief out of your system, and quantum healing has a specific process and structure to that. And then you need to replace it with a positive. And like I mentioned before, we're not replacing with some made up new belief that your mind kind of figured out. We're not manipulating that experience. But I simply invite your being to bring that information from the superconscious level. And in that way, this new updated belief is in complete alignment with your soul's journey. And when we replace it, we need to integrate into every layer of our body, personal space, energy field, past experiences or future possibilities in all times, dimensions, situations, and events possible. And this is why it's quantum, because time doesn't matter. When we restructure the system, the results you will begin to notice really fast. here are a couple of testimonials. What's possible with quantum healing? Melissa is a entrepreneurial clarity coach, and she had a very interesting experience when we worked and activated the intuition. The next day, she had a dream, or night. She had a dream, and more like a vision of her business or new name, new logo, and the structure that she needs to create. And I remember in a few days' time, she had the logo ready, the brand, the domain name, everything was like moving into that direction already for her. And this is how, when you clear the resistances, things happen quickly in very unexpected ways, often because sometimes we can't predict that how the superconscious is impacting us, but things shift really fast. Holly as well, she came, for the first time. We worked on her blocks and resistances, and she called it invisible barrier to step into her mission. And really, after clearing those beliefs, she started taking action and getting results really quickly after some work on the beliefs. Rachel keeps surprising me with her testimonials, and sometimes she's participating in the sessions, and it's always nice to hear her voice. We worked on the beliefs regarding money, and she was struggling financially. And after shifting the beliefs that were kind of ingrained through religious structures and her family situation, the next day she started getting unexpected payments. Somebody covered her bills. Some bonuses came up, and she keeps sending me messages from time to time, like, oh, this just happened, something just like landed in my hands out of the blue. So it's beautiful to see how things shift fast when we really come out of our own way with those limitations. And so my question today is, are you ready to liberate yourself from those limiting beliefs and limiting structures? And if the answer within you is yes, I want to invite you to join me for this 6 weeks group program starting in November. It's called Quantum Alignment. And in the group structure, we will be resetting your human operating system for success. That's the best way I can describe in a short way. It is a 7-session program where we'll explore, first of all, how to increase your awareness. Again, working on 5 senses, specific exercises for you to become more aware and more conscious on those internal triggers. From there, we'll activate certain internal resources, your ability to heal, to nurture yourself, your intuition as a resource, trust, forgiveness, inner peace, all those elements that we are naturally born with, but often disconnect through life experiences. The third session will be about rewiring your brain, really based on the IMAP system. So your eye movement shows which part of the brain is being accessed when you're getting to the information. And very often our IMAPs are distorted, so we can't access the information in the right areas, meaning that some information is blocked. And very often people are not aware of their emotions, or they're mixing the past and future elements. That creates some blockages in the thinking patterns, and therefore the way your brain is coding and storing that information. And shifting that element really rewires your brain and opens up new possibilities. The next step is to release your energy blocks, clearing the past memories or those attachments in your body. Again, I'm checking how your brain codes the time, past, present, and the future through the eye movement. It's a special method that you will experience. And that allows you to release and restructure your timelines, letting go of the attachments from the past. Those emotions are simply released and opens new connections for you. The next step is to align your energy centers, clearing blockages in your energy body. And really, every step is kind of going deeper and deeper into your human experience and giving you that structure and understanding in a very logical way. This can lead to deep spiritual experiences, but it's very much science-based and structured. Myself, as a biophysicist, I needed that logic to understand what's going on in the system. So it gives you that, understanding of how things work and gives you a lot of relief. And eventually you can step into your soul's journey and experience that deep connection to source energy. So this is the plan for the quantum alignment program. We are starting on November 12th. It will be a small group where altogether we'll go through these processes, and we'll be done before Christmas. That's my plan, to finalize it this year. Give yourself a gift to really explore. So that's that. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I have a few minutes if you want to ask something or reflect, and maybe share what's your biggest takeaway today. What are you leaving with this session? Yeah, Tiffany has shared some links, so I will stop sharing to see your faces. Denise says that still have a lot of childhood blocks. Yes, we all do. And I think this period, especially because I'm observing the collective energies and things that are happening, working with my clients, because there are a lot of correlations, people. We are being faced to, really pushed to deal with those elements that have been anchored since childhood and really past experiences. Because when we release that, those blockages and those emotions, we can step into that fullest potential, and we are kind of pushed more and more towards that. So these things don't go away. We tend to hide from those emotions and bury them and cover them up, but it doesn't lead to any resolution. So when you're sick and tired of dealing with that and feeling stuck, it's funny, eat the emotion. That's not always useful either. But yeah, we have certain coping mechanisms, of course, avoiding and so on. But if you're ready, if you reach the point that you're ready and willing to experience that change, quantum healing will give you the biggest shift. Yeah. So yeah, it's I'm reading the comment here, and Ella says that it's powerful to do this in a group, but more difficult. So yes, I do the same work one-on-one, And depending on your situation and your comfort level, it might be more useful to do it one-on-one. Because working one-on-one, I can follow your journey, specifically what you need, accommodate your needs in the moment. In the group structure, though, it's the same process. I'm guiding you all through. But in the group, you have an opportunity to reflect how other people experience that, the same process, but different people experience it differently. And only sharing that expands your awareness and understanding how differently we perceive the world. And that's a very powerful element as well. Yeah. Right. Yeah, resistance. So I think, is that not sure if I should share, what they will think of me, some fear of judgment. These things come up for sure. Because we have been conditioned to behave and think this way, because it wasn't safe to show up fully in the childhood or through the life experiences, right? We all have certain memories from either school or work environment or somewhere where it wasn't safe to show up and express yourself fully. And therefore, my job, my priority is to create that safe space for you to share anything that you need to share and show up fully. I'm like looking at the painting. It's one of my latest paintings here. The bubble of safety. I kind of reflected on my past few clients who really shared with me that they have never opened up to anybody to that level. And they just needed the safe space to express themselves. So I do create that safety bubble for you to show up however you need to and experience what's necessary for you to shift. And it's all that support and compassion in the space. Yes, Kevin. You want to ask something? Yay.
Yeah, so I was just going to share real quick because
Okay.
I've kind of jumped into this world a little bit in the past couple months, and I definitely resonate with what you just said as far as being very um, closed in, not being open to sharing things, not wanting to because one, if you don't think about it or share it, then is it you can hide it that it's not really there. But then also if you share it with others, like how are they going to see you or think of you with that? So just on my own experience with these past couple of months and working with you, it's really been eye-opening and I guess the word that I keep going back to is like freeing in a sense to be able to really, reflect on that, to be able to, think on some of those past experiences that might be, the cause of some of that limiting beliefs or how I, think poorly of myself or how I kind of see myself that, I don't see what others see. So it's really been good to reflect on that and work on that and helpful. And I think just raising my hand today and sharing some of that is just a proof of that a little bit. So I just wanted to
Yes.
share that, and I highly recommend for anyone to work with you and talk with you. So it's been helpful for me.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I know that's a big step for you, even to speak up in the group. That's awesome. Thank you for this is the result and then that evolution. Be happy for you. Yeah. Any questions? Any sharing? Anybody? Before we close this space? If not, then yeah, go ahead and check the description, the page of the group, and if that's not specifically what you need, then reach out directly. I'm available. You can book a one-on-one call, a discovery call, coffee chat, how I usually call it. It's not, no pushy, salesy things going on there, but let's chat and see how quantum healing can help you and what's possible, really. Because my journey was more like, I want to see what's possible for the human being to experience, and then I want to lead by example. And if I reflect on my thinking or my awareness and my what was possible 5 years ago before I explored quantum healing, I wouldn't have believed that I would be capable of doing things that I'm doing right now. So that's an evolutionary journey. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here today, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the future.